After tasting some great food at Aching Lilians on our first day in Pampanga, we decide to end day one with comparing the 17th century sisig to its modern day version. Tomorrow morning, we will head to Everybody's Cafe and Cucina to see what other culinary greats Pampanga has to offer. As we continue our trip here in Pampanga, it would sort of be a sin not to try sisig. The modern version that we know and love is nothing like the 17th century version. We're gonna head over to Aling Milas Tokwat Barboy restaurant in Angeles to compare these two dishes and see how it's evolved through time. To assemble it, the vinegar is added to a bowl with chopped garlic and sliced red chilies. A generous amount of salt and pepper is added, followed by sliced red onions. Finally, leek tops are then added with a splash of patis, and the tender pig's head meat and ears are then added. The recipe back then consists of mostly the pig's ears and only a small quantity of the face. It is then boiled till tender and then sliced up. The word sisig actually means to snack on something sour. The amount of vinegar that is used in this version is where the dish gets its name from. Okay, so this is a very good comparison of the two sisigs. This is the sisig as I know it, and probably as you know it, but this sisig here has been around since the 1700s. You can see how much it's sort of changed over the years. There's less cooking. This has gone really, really crispy. With this, the only cooking process here is where they've taken the ears and they've just cooked it like lightly in water just until it's soft. Let's give it a taste and compare the two. So, let's give it a try. That's really, really spicy, right? There's not much chili in there, but you can definitely taste. It's really meaty for some reason. I think it's the ears. It's got so much flavor in them. Now it's time to taste the sisig as I know it, and I'm sure as you know it. The difference between that and this is that this uses the ear, it uses the cheek meat, it uses a lot of meat from the actual face of the pig, but this is only the ear, which will make this more meaty and sort of less of a soup. This is probably one of the best dishes to have when you're drinking beer. This is beer food at its best, right? Yeah. That's a sisig I know, right? Little crispy bits on the bottom. Okay, so I didn't even know that sisig like this existed. And this is one of the few restaurants that still serves this old school sisig. I think it's phenomenal that people sort of keep the old recipes there because it teaches people about the culinary history. So I'm just going to finish the sisig and enjoy. Our next stop is Everybody's Cafe in San Fernando. This restaurant has been around since just after the war. We are just about to go meet the owner, Pet Harolan, to show us some unconventional Pampangan dishes. All right, Chita, what's the first dish you are going to show us how to make?
Yeah, we're going to show the kilain.
Kilain.
Kilain, that's how we call it here in Pampanga.
And then what is the first thing we do?
First thing that we do that makes this dish distinguished is we have to pop the pork lungs.
So is it when you fry it, it pops?
Yeah, it has to pop.
Is that because it gets crispy or?
A little bit crispy.
Okay.
When it starts to pop, we can already start sauteing the garlic, onions.
The onions and garlic go in. And then we saute that until the onions are nice and soft. Wow, that's really popping.
And we can put already the pork.
Okay, so what cut of pork is this?
It's the pork shoulder.
The shoulder. So this dish sounds a lot like kinilaw.
Kinilaw, yes, because it's cooked in vinegar.
Okay.
We have to put vinegar later.
Wow, that's smelling really, really nice. So now we can add the livers.
Yes, we marinated the liver with vinegar.
Okay.
Just to extract the juice of the liver.
Right, okay.
And put some rock salt and pepper.
So how long do you marinate it for?
Just before cooking.
Okay, so just before it goes into the pan.
Yes.
So is this a dish that you serve in the restaurant here?
Yes, we do.
And how long has this restaurant been here?
Well, this restaurant, it was started by my parents since after the war, around 1952.
Okay.
That's the time I was born.
Oh, wow. So you've been around this restaurant all your life, really?
Yes.
But this restaurant, when I walked in, it sort of looked like a home that had been converted into a restaurant.
It's really a restaurant, but the ambience is homey.
Yes, I can see that, yeah.
But that's the purpose of my father when he built this restaurant. Try to keep it and also to try the home taste.
Right, okay.
Of course.
Homemade food always tastes a lot better, huh?
Yes.
Okay, so that's pretty much done.
Okay.
We can turn that off. It smells really, really nice. Oh, pork's really tender, huh?
Yes.
It's really nice. And that vinegar makes a huge difference. You can taste the vinegar.
But you know, this will also taste much better the day after.
So it's almost like adobo. To me, adobo tastes much better the next day than what it does when you make it fresh. That's really nice. Okay, this is really, really nice. I'm just gonna have a couple more bites and pull myself away from it, and then we'll start the next dish.
Okay.
Fantastic.
The next dish is we call it the betuteng tugak.
Okay.
Betute, because it's a stuffed frog.
Stuffed frog,
Stuffed
whole frog.
It's a whole frog.
Okay.
Yes.
And then what is it stuffed with?
It's stuffed with ground pork.
The first job is to saute the onions and the garlic.
Yes.
And the tomato.
She said she doesn't like sugar. So why'd you say the sweetness makes the lover? And then you told her she reminds.
Okay, so now that the pork's gone in, does it really matter what kind of pork? Very lean? Or
Not so lean.
okay, you want a little bit of fat.
Yes, a little bit
Because
of
fat is flavor, right?
Of course.
Of course it is. Fat is flavor.
Maybe now we can put the vinegar.
Okay. How much vinegar do I put in?
Just half of that.
Half of that.
The thing is done.
So just okay. So now that the pork is all cooked, it's now ready.
She's not feeding 'cause you keep bleeding over her.
When we dress the frogs, we have to be careful not to destroy the stomach. Next step is we dredge them with flour.
But just a nice light coating?
Yes.
Okay. And that's just to sort of help it become nice and crispy.
You talk about the
Perfect, yeah? Perfect. Okay, so now that these frogs have sort of been fried really nice and crispy, nice and golden brown, I think I'm going to start with the legs. Really nice and crispy, huh?
You did a perfect job.
You taught me very well, right? Very well. A lot of people, when they taste something, they say it tastes like chicken, but this really does taste like chicken. Let's get ready for the next dish. These are the crickets.
They are called mole crickets.
Okay. So what's the first thing we do?
First thing is we have to trim them. We remove the claws.
Okay. Okay, so the legs, the wings, do we
The
remove?
wings also.
Okay. So basically, we're just leaving the abdomen and the head.
Abdomen and the head.
Like that?
It's clean already. Yes.
Yeah. What's the next step?
We're going to saute them.
Now it's time for the crickets.
It's already done, but if you want to have it crispier, so you have to stir more a little.
You want it crispier?
A little.
Okay.
She's not feeding 'cause you keep bleeding.
It's now time to eat it, right?
I'll join you.
Yes, please. Not bad.
Sarap.
Yeah? Actually, very nice. There's a really funny flavor to it. Like a nice funny. It's like vinegary. Right, Ita, thank you very, very much for showing us the recipes. I
You're
really
welcome,
appreciate it.
I appreciate it too.
It was very sort of nice to see all the Ampangan dishes done classically,
Yes.
and I'm actually quite enjoying these. I'll have one more
you.
bite. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Appreciate
also.
it.
And you're hired.
Am I? Fantastic. Fantastic. Another classic dish here in Pampanga is halo halo. I've actually only just found out that halo halo comes from this region. Apparently the best place to go is Kabigting's in Arayat. They start off by putting mashed up kidney beans that's been cooked in a simple sugar water syrup and a couple of teaspoons of creamed sweet corn. They then add Carabao's milk pastilla mix to the glass. They then pack the top of the glass with crushed ice and pour evaporated milk all over the top. Okay, so this is the famous halo halo, right? You can see all of the layers, all of the ingredients that's sort of gone into this. And on a sweltering hot day like this, there's nothing better to cool you down than this. So let's give it a taste. Okay, so this is the trick to halo halo, right? To get everything sort of mixed through. Hence why it's called halo halo, right? Mix, mix. I can now sort of taste everything in there. And the pastillas is really, really sweet. The beans are really sweet. And if you mix it with the plain ice, sort of everything sort of comes together. So some halo halo are made differently in different regions. This is how they make it here in Pampanga. I've never tasted it with pastillas before. I've never tasted it with corn, but I think the pastillas is what gives it that little burst of sweetness that this really, really needs. Really nice and refreshing, nice and sweet. And if you're in this area, you have to come and taste it. It's really, really good. Right, we're just gonna head out and see what Pampanga has for us. I'm gonna take this with me because this is so, so good. We then head over to visit Antetwu Yanko from Cucina Restaurant in Mexico. They cook a comfort Pampangan cuisine here with just a little bit of a twist. Okay, so what is the first dish you are going to show us how to make?
I'm going to show you how to cook suam mais.
Okay.
It's a native corn soup here in Pampanga.
All right, sounds fantastic. What's the first step?
So the first step is we saute the garlic and the onions.
That's what you said as you clearly threw my records on the
And that corn, let's talk about this corn, because I've never seen corn,
Really?
white corn, no.
This is what we call the sticky corn.
Right, okay.
This is what we usually use for the som na mais.
It's really firm compared to the yellow corn. And that's going to be a thickening agent
Yes.
for our soup.
It will
All right,
thicken the soup.
fantastic. So that is
This is-
basically pork belly.
Yeah, pork belly.
Okay.
It's fat, so Kapampangans love fat. So
I love fat.
you don't have a Kapampangan dish without
Without fat, right?
Without a fat.
I love fat. Fat is flavor, in my opinion. Okay, so we'll just stir this around.
Yes.
Chicken broth, that can go in.
Then we can put the water in,
Okay. How much water do I put in?
maybe halfway.
Half of that.
This guy's a schmuck. You said he's unwell.
Now this is the white corn
Yes.
that you've just grated, right? If that goes in, instantly that's sort of turned into a really nice whitish color.
Then we'll add the patis.
Okay. Wow, that's thickened up really nicely. And the smell of the garlic and the fat, the lovely fat.
The
Yeah.
lovely fat.
I'm really amazed at how, as soon as you put that corn in, the stock thickened up
I
pretty
know.
much instantly, right? So now we just simmer this
Yes, wait till
until the consistency.
and the corn is cooked all the way. After that, we can add the chili leaves.
Oh, so that's chili leaves.
Sili. That's dahon ng sili
Yeah.
in Tagalog. So
Okay. Because how thick does the soup need to be?
that's about it. So
It's about it.
not too thick.
Turn it off, or
Yes, we can turn it off now
Turn it
and
off.
we add the leaves.
the leaves in there.
So you can put as much as I've said. How
It's up to you.
It's up to you.
It's up to you. Now the heat of the soup is just going to cook all of those
the
chili
leaves.
leaves.
So here we are.
Is that pretty much done?
yes.
That smells really, really nice. Really nice and sweet from the corn.
One day when they empty your mind, they'll be surprised at the junk they find.
Okay, so now that lovely corn soup is done, it looks like the ingredients in front of me is kare kare.
Yes.
Okay. One of my wife's favorite dishes of all time.
Really?
My wife loves kare kare. Okay. So the first thing that goes in is,
The achuete oil.
okay, so the
So-
shredder goes in,
We put the garlic.
chopped garlic, chopped onion in there. And then that just gets sauteed until it's soft. Then your peanuts over here, is that homemade peanut
Yeah,
paste?
this is homemade.
That's a good thing, right? That it's really thick. Okay, so that's the broth from the,
From the oxtail.
okay.
So
Okay,
let's,
so we bring
let's
that to a
just
boil?
Yes, just let's wait until it thickens a little bit.
Okay. So this is the oxtail that's been
Yeah.
cooked, and it's really nice and tender, right? Perfect. And then the gelatinous agents in the oxtail will actually help thicken up. These vegetables are already cooked, so the only thing we're now doing is just to reheat them.
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, we can even put like the native pechay also. Like some
Okay.
people, they like to put some.
Wow, this smells really good. That oxtail is really, really nice and fatty. You can see as soon as you put the oxtail in,
Yeah.
it is thickened up really nicely. You see that? Wow.
And you can smell the fat.
And that is smelling like heaven. That's really, really nice. That smells really, really good. One more for good
One
luck,
more,
right?
yeah.
One more for good luck. Let's put that on top. Just like
There
that.
you go.
Fantastic. I have tasted Taron many times before, but I've never eaten Taron this good. Inside this version is 3 of my favorite flavor combinations ever: banana, peanut butter, and chocolate. This is like heaven to me.
Good vibrations, see the name strung up in light. What is coming when we're supposed to win the body and me.
Next time on Market to Master.
Next time on Market to Master, we head over to Cebu to find out what makes their lechon so very special.